Si on était bien au pays, est-ce qu'on allait prendre la route de l'aventure? Ah, mais c'est le président. Un pauvre qui vote ou celui qui l'a rendu pauvre. Si on était bien au pays, est-ce qu'on allait prendre la route de l'étranger? Ah, mais c'est le président. À l'Assemblée, il y a un vieux. Vraiment. Au Sénat, il y a un vieux. Wonderful. À la présidence, il y a un vieillard. Dans tout le gouvernement, il n'y a que des vieux. Des vieux, des vieux. Des jeunes prennent le chemin de la limite pour devenir des esclaves. Les jeunes prennent la route du désert pour entrer en Europe. À l'Assemblée, il y a un vieux. C'est de tout court. Au Sénat, il y a un vieux. À la présidence, il y a un vieillard. Dans tout le gouvernement, il n'y a que des vieux, des vieux, des vieux.
Hi. Good day to the beautiful people of the Cameroon, the beautiful people of La Republique du Cameroun, and the beautiful people of British Southern Cameroon. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a party political broadcast by myself, Maitre Mola Alex Ndive Lisinge, the leader of British Cameroon National Party. Ladies and gentlemen, today I've come to talk about a much used word in the Cameroons. You hear a lot of people, chiefs, non-functional government, non-functional opposition, and people like Atanganji, Famdongo, Ngongo, Ayolo, Gigwaona, you name the rest. They will come and talk peace, peace, unity. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if these people, when they use words, they don't go to the dictionary and find out what it means. I don't think these people know the meaning. I don't think these people know how to govern a country. They just know how to use words without knowing the meaning. I will tell you today why you don't need to alter that word peace or unity. You can take action and you will realize that there will be peace and unity without using a single word. Ladies and gentlemen, British Cameroon National Party is a party. I know some people sometimes, they don't seem to understand. We are in a party because a party, a political party, is about people with the same ideology or similar ideology that they want to stand for election. So sometimes you might hear in Cameroon, people say we have about 300 and something political parties. Ladies and gentlemen, in the United Kingdom, we have 393 political parties, but you don't hear about most of them. Because some political parties, they don't have principles, they don't have policies. They have been standing for elections since 1992. They are just there. It's politics of personality called. British Cameroon National Party have come to introduce policies, elections about manifesto. For the first time, you hear people talking about it. There is much that I will learn people in the Cameroons because sometimes we have to understand that there is no party politics in the Cameroon. That's why you see every time people come, let's come for coalition. They don't know some political parties are there, were created by the government. They are satellite political party for the CPDM chop people their money. Ladies and gentlemen, British Cameroon National Party have 5 core principles. 1, equal status. 2, we want a sovereign national conference. That's something I've been fighting for ever since I was a teenager. We have a parliamentary form of government, number 3. We want number 4, we have bottom-up administration, that you start from bottom and up. We don't want that type of a government that everything is Mr. Bia, it's Atanganji, it's Ayolo. It's the people. Decision have to come from grassroots to up. That's what we have. Our policy is what? Bottom-up administration. Then lastly, ethnocultural democracy. We have to recognize that each ethnicity, they have to be autonomous because we have different culture and tradition. Equal status is about the two inherited culture, that country, two countries came together, so we must be equal. It's not one country saying, I'm giving you this or otherwise. So ladies and gentlemen, I'll play a short video, a short audio. It's a video, but I'll play the audio. You listen to Atanganji, and I want to tell you guys something today because it's a little bit astonished. I want play a little bit of extract. Where is this thing? It's about Atanganji. Listen.
Because the enemies of the Republic have been telling a lot of lies, making fake stories about the nature of the elections. So we have come here to do an evaluation so we can give a comprehensive and a true version of what happened. I would like to say,
well, ladies and gentlemen, I don't need to play the entire video or whatsoever. You see, ladies and gentlemen, Minister Atanganji, Paul, called himself a minister, and you stand in a public place and call some citizens as enemies of the state. Ladies and gentlemen, in the English culture, in Britain, we have values. In order to be in public life, including a minister, we have something they call 7 principles of public life. 7 principles of public life. If somebody, you talk like this, like a Atanganji, in the United Kingdom, enemies of the state, you might lose your job. They will call you to account for what you're saying. 7 principles: integrity, selflessness, that's public interest, objectivity, accountability, openness, honesty, and leadership. So, in the United Kingdom, a minister cannot talk like Atanganji. I don't know in Cameroon why Mr. Biya don't do so. You take people who don't understand how to run a country. Mr. Atanganji is talking about what? Oh, President Paul Biya have done this. No. In a country, you say the government have done this. It's not Paul Biya. In the United Kingdom, the king will say, my government. The prime minister will say, my government. It's government. It's not Prime Minister Cameroun. It's not King Charles. It's not Biya. It's a government. But in the Cameroons, they have what? Dictatorship. So they don't know it's a government. They don't work together to run the country. They don't see the president. He gives high instruction. You don't run a country like that. You run a country with the cabinet. Even in China, where they have one-party system, they sit together, they run the country together. So, ladies and gentlemen, today I've come to talk about this word that they use, peace and unity. In order to bring peace and unity in a country, ladies and gentlemen, there are certain characteristics. I say you don't need to use the word. Peace means what? Freedom from tranquility. Freedom, no disturbance. I'm just giving you a layman terms. No disturbance, tranquility. That's peace. Unity means harmony, acting together, common purpose. Do we have those things in the Cameroons? I don't know. Okay, without saying much about this, if you want peace in a country, these are experts. Experts. I read something about what experts, they say, if you want peace, what do? You don't come and say peace, peace, peace with your mouth. If you're hungry, you look for food and eat. That's what you do. You don't just say, I'm hungry, I'm hungry. If you don't eat, you will remain hungry. So instead of saying we want peace and unity, you have to do certain things. And the ball is in the court of the government of La Republique du Cameroun, not the citizen. One of those reasons, they say if you want peace and unity in a country is what? Fair resource distribution must be guaranteed. Your resources, fairness, it must be guaranteed. That's how you fight peace and unity. Equitable access. to vital resources like water, food, electricity, roads. If you want peace, these are things that experts, they say. You don't come and say peace and unity. No, you have to make sure that everybody have access to food and water. That's how you bring peace. Food to give all citizens a stake in the social stability of the country. That's what experts, they say. That's one of them. You don't need to come and say, we want peace and unity. No. You have to make sure that the resources of the country are guaranteed to be distributed evenly to all the citizens of the country. The Constitution of La Republique du Cameroun says the resources should be distributed it's in the preamble, Article 65. All individuals, they don't say tribe, region, individual, but do we do that? No. So if Mr. Tanganji, Ayolo, Ngongo, you want peace, make sure that the resources are distributed evenly to all the citizens. Light everywhere, hospital everywhere, reference hospital, motorway everywhere, food everywhere, water, pipe-borne water, electricity. That is how you bring peace and unity. It's not about talking for more than 60 years. CNU, rebranded CPDM. Number 2 point, that the experts, they say if you want to bring peace in a country and unity, what do? Strengthen your institution. Promote accountability. Atanganji, Ngongo, Ayolo, Grigwa Ona. Can you tell me what happened to Olembe Gate? Can you tell me? Can you tell me Kofi Gate? Can you tell me what happened to Martinez Zogo Wazizi? Accountability. The rule of law. You have to ensure there's a rule of law. You respect laws. People steal money, they go to prison, they come out, they say they have given the money back. If you want peace and unity, I'm not the one. I read this from expert report. Some expert, they say if you want peace, strengthen institution. Ensure that the police are trained to understand freedom of expression. I see the police, they beat people. Beat longe, beat this, kill people, torture people with machete, beat their food with cutlass. They say if you want peace, ensure that your police, your B, your gendarme, they are trained in areas like freedom of expression. They should know that. When they know people are talking, they know it's their right. So strengthen your institution. Reform your institution. Those archaic institutions that one person controls the whole country. One person gives instruction. They say if you want peace, strengthen your institution. That's what reform. Then they say if you want peace and unity, you don't need to be talking, no. Just be doing these things, what I'm saying, you will see peace and unity. Prevent crisis. How do you do that? Implement policies that prevent crisis and respond to crisis in a way that build the community and they cooperate. Anglophone problem have been there before I was born. Change constitution. Article 47. People have been complaining. Some of you call them founding father Pamuna and Pa Foncha. They complained to Mr. Bia, no answer. They went to the UN, no answer. That is a crisis. The ongoing conflict in Northwest and Southwest started long ago. You people don't do anything. They say if you want peace and unity, prevent crisis. The Anglophone problem, the people who were architect of the federalism, Pa Muna, Pa Foncha, they complain to you, you do nothing. So don't be blaming people today when there's conflict in Northwest and Southwest. It's because of your government. The Bias regime, Ayolo, Ngongo, Shantabia, you people are responsible. You go to a country to solve the problem, not to please France. So prevent crisis. I grew up, I know they say prevention is better than cure. Next point again, experts, they say, rather than saying peace, unity, experts, they say, support inclusive education. Use education to break down barriers, celebrate our differences, not Chantabia every day dancing with our country people in palace, honor Ganye. That's not how you do it. You celebrate difference, build a culture of peace, and make people to understand that from a young age that we are different. When I was RCM school, Boya Station, we used to have different dance group. People would dance their own traditional dance. This one dance, competition. We go to youth center, they make competition. Sase, they will come. This other college will come. We do competition with our different tribal thing. It was okay. Today, you people have made us to say, when you talk about your tribe, it's hatred, it's enemy. But we grew up, we used to celebrate our different cultures. But you people want to divide and rule. Again, experts say rather than going around say peace, peace, peace. The experts say what? You have to what? Community and individual actions. You have to promote daily engagement in open. Respect dialogue. That's what you do. You understand the different perspective and try to put your shoes in other people's situation, if you disagree with them. But when we say support inclusive education, community and individual action. But I grew up in a country where they will say le Biafra, allez chez vous, by government officers. I grew up in a country where government delegate of Yaoundé, Emma Bazi, will say, ennemi dans la maison. I grew up in a country where Emma Bazi will say what? Serpent dans la maison. Our children, our brothers, our mothers, our sisters are growing up in a country where a governor will call them dogs. Governor in Southwest. I grew up in a country where some persons who call themselves opposition leader will say, Mr. Biya have got the right to kill everybody for national integrity and sovereignty. When the Cameroon is not even an independent country because they surrendered their independence in 1959 to France. They cannot make their own money. They can money supply, interest rate, devaluation, a country that's still under colonialization. We have to learn how to solve conflict peacefully. But Mr. Tanganji, we see, I don't know whether it's in far north, he will call some people ennemi de la nation. Who is an enemy? Mr. Tanganji, you're more an enemy because your face is so frightful. If people see a lion, they see a Tanganji, they will go towards the lion and run away from you because you're more frightful than lion. You say you want to Molinex people. You will Molinex, Mr. Tanganji, you. Remember Charles Doe, Samuel Doe, he used to make mouth, Samuel Doe. They caught him on the street. So when you see it, I say there are principles in public life in the United Kingdom. Selflessness, integrity, objectivity, accountability, openness, honesty, leadership. You must follow this principle. You don't talk like Atanganji. Atanganji is talking like a street man. See, all my life, Aisi Vondo, Anje Chunga, I know them. They don't talk like that. I used to see, how do they call his name? Atanganji. He used to be with Pa Achidiachu. Pa Achidiachu never taught you some lesson. How to speak to people, how to respect people. Pa Achidiachu was Minister of Justice in 1972 in Cameroon. So I don't understand. So rather than going around saying, peace and unity, it is your action that's going to determine peace and unity. You need community building, that's what they say. People have to socialize. You have to look at social and cultural divide. You look at all those things, you bring them together, make people to understand these things. All over the world, people are different. But in Cameroon, it's about divide and rule. Put yourself in people's situation. Practice empathy and respect. Rather than you saying that enemy of the country. Empathize with people. Respect people. Have compassion with other people. Put yourself in their situation. That's how you bring peace and unity. It is very important. You have to go beyond your own community. Understand? Some of us, we grew up in places that we mix with different culture. That's why sometimes when I see the way people react on social media, that reflects yourself. When you were growing up in Boya, you have people from all sides. I was lucky I grew up in Boya. I was born there. Then I went to Bamenda, went to CPDM, Yaoundé, Douala. So when you mix with people, when you know politics is not about hatred, it's about differences of opinion. But when you see a lot of people on social media, they come and insult people. I saw even people who insulted Dr. Munzu. They don't even understand what Dr. Munzu was saying. They don't even understand. Even the journalist who doesn't understand. If you bring me on your platform as a legal expert, you ask me questions, I'm speaking about the law. It's not my opinion. It's the law. Even if the law is bad. That's why in England, if you're a journalist, either you're a political correspondent, you know the law, all of it. You're an economic correspondent, you know the law. Cultural correspondent, you know those things. In Cameroon, everybody, journalists, they just say everything. But before you come, if you're a political correspondent or legal correspondent, you know the law. Before you ask that question, the person who is answering already know. So ladies and gentlemen, if we don't know something, let's learn it. Don't come and be insulting people like Dr. Munzu. You people don't understand what he's saying. If you bring me on your program, you ask me a legal expert question about Cameroon law, I will tell you about the law. It's not my opinion. It's the law of Cameroon. And until they change the law, that is the law. But sometimes our people don't understand. You see people, I can come and please all of you on social media. I know what you want to hear. When we used to protest, when teachers, lawyers in Cameroon, they were arrested, universities and beaten, I used to ask people, when do you think this independence will come? Some they say, in 3 months' time. Some they say, in 1 year's time. I used to laugh in my heart. Because one, I always believe in small catching monkey. I believe if my focus is one Boya University, let's focus and have it. If my focus is multipartism, we focus and have it. GCE board, focus and have it. If our purpose now is equal status, we focus on it. We cannot be everywhere. That's not how politics work. If you want independence, there's a step to have independence. You have to make sure there are special status, there are fake regional assembly. You go and be taking those things bit by bit. That's a step to independence. When you have most MPs in Northwest and Southwest, it's a step towards independence. I don't know why you don't read, you don't learn. If you go to Scotland, Scottish National Party want independence. They have taken majority seat of the decentralization. It's the road to independence. Catalonia, the road to independence. Quebec, these people have been fighting for years before us. But you people always want knee-jerk reaction. I keep on asking, if they say this is Southern Cameroon, a country, take it today, what will happen? You'll be fighting each other. You have to put yourself to be in whether it's regional assembly or what. You cannot decide that they come and negotiate with you. They negotiate with you that you are who? Who are you? If I go to that, start take seats like member of parliament, I'm somebody. The people have given me a mandate. That is how you fight it. My brothers and sisters, if you don't know, you don't know. Learn. The things I'm saying, I was not born from my mother's womb. What I'm saying, you learn. And there's nothing to learn about. Most of you, you want illusion. I can tell you today, I used to talk, people think that I was against or what. I've been fighting for the liberation of British Southern Cameroon ever since I was a teenager, young, even a boy. So some of you come today, you want quick things. It doesn't work that way. We are not in power. We are not MPs. We are not councillors. We should fight, let them even change the electoral code before the next parliamentary election. That's where we should be focusing on. So ladies and gentlemen, I was here today to say these people in A2D, I don't know whether, I don't want to use that word. I don't know whether they really have brains. You come and preach peace. If you want peace, make sure that there's equality. If you want peace, talk about justice and injustice. If you want peace, talk about fairness of natural resources distribution. Strengthen our institutions so no one person should be above the law. Prevent crisis. Support inclusion, inclusive education so that you break down barriers. These are words from experts. They are not my words. So that's what you need to do, ladies and gentlemen. Let's stop thinking that it's the people who should do something. You go to government to work for the people. You go to the government to maintain law and order. You go to the government to enforce law. You go to the government to assist the people economically and socially. You don't go there to embezzle money and corrupt and have big houses. That's not why you're there. You go to the government to work for the people. They might elect you today. The next day, the people say they don't want you. Election is not a carte blanche. If people vote you today, the next day they are not happy. You can resign. So ladies and gentlemen, stop going around using English word that peace and unity without knowing the meaning. The person or the people who don't want peace in the Cameroon is the government. Because it's up to them to make sure that there's justice in the Cameroons. There's equality in the law and there should be equality in the standard of living of everybody. If everybody needs basic necessity of life, they should get it. Food, shelter, water, electricity, hospital. Hospital should be free. Hospital was free when I was growing up in Boya. So ladies and gentlemen, I am sending this message to all the people in Etudi, Ngongo, Ayolo, Porbia, Shantabia, all of you, you should know that if you want peace, it's up to the government to bring peace in the country. There was problem over decades upon decades in Northern Ireland, IRA, Irish Republican Army. It was the government of the United Kingdom that spoke with them and solved the problem and gave them their parliament back. That is why there is peace in Northern Ireland today. So ladies and gentlemen, once more, thank you. This has been a party political broadcast by myself, Maitre Mola Alex Ndive Lisinge, the leader of British Cameroon National Party. Have a wonderful evening.